Welcome everyone to our 18th session now today, which will be devoted to the topic Find Your Focus. Because just like in photography, if you don't find your focus, you will find life becomes a blur, like a photo becomes blurred if you don't have the correct focus. So this is what we are going to deal with today in both Marlies and my part. And before we start, I would now like to try out this new interactive tool. It's a sort of icebreaker, but it can also be used for very, very good other purposes. What you need to do now is you go to your mobile phone and type in this internet address, www.menti.com. And there you enter this code. Does that work? Can you do that? Yes? Sergio nods. Okay. And, no, sorry. In that, I have to stop here quickly and I have to go to this side as well and go there. Okay. Can you tell me, do you see this on your smartphone now? What comes to mind?
Can you put the code another time? I was not quick enough for the code. What is the code?
Yes, I will give you the code. It is 6023 sorry, I can't hear
it. I now I see it. Then 8.
You can see.
Yeah. Okay.
And now you type in one quick spontaneous association. What comes to your mind when you hear the word Facebook? Yeah, good. We're doing a creative cloud. Meta, interesting. Picture scrolling. Scrolling is interesting. Relation. By the way, I can do that myself as well, I think. Come on, we need more words. There are at least 20 people here, I think. Yes, 20 people.
It should be more words. Yes, everybody.
So it should be more words. We are setting the mood. Menti.
Video.
Time waste.
Yeah. Time wasting.
Time waste. Okay. So I can't see. So we've got 9 people participating. Please type in a spontaneous association. It doesn't matter if you repeat a word that is used more often becomes bigger, stands out. We want to have the feeling, what does Facebook mean for you? Interesting, isn't it? We have education and time waste both together, and there is no right or wrong. Video scrolling, feeds. We've got 11 people who participated. 12. Also relation. Share. I'm sure you can think of a word connected with that. If you have problems in operating the tool, please let me know. 12 people have so far contributed. I cannot myself because I can't see the code. I could only see the code if I stopped it, and I don't want to do that. But maybe.
Should we tell you the code?
No, I can move that. Okay, so I can enter it myself. But you see, nobody knows which word you are contributing. Okay? 14 people. Good. Time. So we see, all in all, I think it is sort of balance between positive and negative associations. We have time waste, but on the other hand, friends. We have entertainment, but also pressure. Oh well, the positive ones seem to be overwhelmed. Seem to be in the lead. We have education. Well, scrolling and to build knowledge is again a positive one. Time waste is
Relation.
definitely. Relation is positive, thank you. I mean, picture is really neutral. Social media is also neutral. Scrolling is interesting. Is that good or bad? Scrolling, you cannot stop. It's sort of an addiction. It's a time waste. You don't find the button to stop, could be, or it could be how cool. I can go on scrolling and get new information. So Claudia, what is your question?
My
Because you
question?
have raised your hand.
Oh,
Yeah, you
excuse
have
me. It
raised
was
your hand.
before the hand was when you asked if we watch it from the laptop. No,
Ah,
no
okay.
question. No question.
Okay. Okay. So, folks, yes. So that is this interactive tool called Mentimeter, and it is very useful to engage Zoom audience. And you will come across it today every now and again. So thank you for your first input, setting the mood all around Facebook. And now we will continue with our presentation and congratulate Sanat on your achievements. Yes, let's give him a hand. One more time, the confetti rain for Sanat. Yes, congratulate you very much, and we would like to share this special moment with you once again. Yes, well done, Sonat. So now let's have a quick look at our agenda today. First, Marlies will take over and talk about this homework that you got after the compound effect. Then we will focus on finding your focus, and as you can see here, your interaction will also be most welcome here. And last but not least, there will be a feedback round, what you're taking away from today's session in a slightly different form. Okay, any questions? I don't think. So I would say, Marlies, the stage is yours.
Thank you.
And I stop.
So first of all, thank you very much for your homework, submitted in time. I got 55 parts of homework, 13 gratitude assessments. So I think this was the homework you liked the most, plus 6 mirror exercises, 11 core values, 10 perfect husbands and wives, 4 love letters, 3 success buddies, 5 trackings, and 2 vision boards. So in total, I think, yes, you made a great job. As I cannot see always who wrote what kind of message in the Google form. So if you want to share your documents with each other, I could make, if you wanted, a Word document giving numbers to every message, and then you send me directly the numbers you wrote so that everybody can read who wrote which message. If you want to share it, could you maybe raise your hand if you want to share with all others what you wrote about your perfect future from the first session and your gratitude assessments, core values? Do you want to share that, or should we leave it just like that and you made the homework for you and nobody else knows? Who would like to share? Could you please raise your hand? If we have many who would like to share, then I make this big job of doing the Word document? If not, okay, obviously you are happy with what you did as a homework. Okay. So what I would like to ask you is your feedback after the second round, after the second coaching session, and your homeworks, the two you chose. What are your one or two good experiences with the homework? And the second question is there one thing you would really recommend to all other fellow members of the group? Okay. Who wants to start, or should I? I will ask you, I think. So I start with Sergio because he's on the first row dominating all the other team. So one or two good experiences with the homework and one thing you would recommend to all the others.
One thing that I've experienced is to think about the different type of questions, which really means which we all of us don't do that because we all of us are busy in our rat race about our studies, about our future. So doing this type of homeworks, sometimes it gets you to a certain path that you have to do this also and that. So this was the first experience which I got while doing this homework. And one thing that I've got from this exercise is to be in a track. Every time you just track what you are doing or not, then it helps you to be in a proper path and helps you to reach your goal.
Okay. So what would you recommend as the one thing?
It's the tracking.
Okay.
Which we did.
Okay. Okay. I had a little bit problem to understand the first experience you told us.
Yeah, first experience is it's about the thinking of daily life. Means while doing this type of questions, usually we in our daily life we don't do that because we all are busy in our school studies and all. So this exercise was very helpful to give certain time.
Just to get conscious about things you are doing or not doing in your daily life.
Yes, yes.
In order to reach goals you have defined. Okay, thank you very much. Asad, you're the next one. And then in preparation, I make it like Luisa because this is a good thing, I think. Samrat. So first, Asad.
Good afternoon to the Austrian members and good evening to my friends. The experience I would like to share is that by this gratitude assessment and another core value, I came to know more about myself. I just knew that I am having this much qualities and skills, but I was not so much deeply known. So now I can realize that how much quality, quantity, and talent and skill I have with me.
Great.
And the thing I would like to share is that like we should not discriminate ourselves and compare ourselves with others. We know that we are unique in every field and we are specially gifted with something. So if we focus on our skill, quantity, and we follow everything and make it happen, then we are obviously a great person.
Wow. Beautiful message. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
So this is the thing you would recommend to the others, the gratitude assessment and the mirror exercise?
Yes, obviously.
Okay, great. Yes, it's wonderful for your self-esteem and self-consciousness. It's wonderful. And you get more independent of other people because many people just are waiting for appreciation. And if you are able to give it to yourself, you focus on the plenty, on what you have and not on what you don't have. And yes, it's perfect for your feeling in life. Okay, thank you very much. So Samrat and then Hannah.
Hello.
Hi.
Like Azad, I have also done this. That gratitude as a assessment means every time I say thankful for the things I have got and I'm very much thankful for the one I'm today. And every time I look at the mirror and say that everything is fine and everything is just going well, you know, means there is all in life ups and downs come. So I means you have to manage that one. So I practice this one and see very much improvement in myself.
Wonderful. So the mirror exercises thing you would recommend?
Yes, I want to recommend that mirror experiment.
Okay. So you want to keep it in your life,
Yes.
not just as a homework from one week to the other, but okay, as a permanent thing. Great, thank you. Hannah, and then Kenai.
Okay. Unfortunately, I was trained on last session, and that was very nice, and I like it. And from the last session, I
Is it my problem or Hannah's problem?
I think Hannah's
Louisa,
problem.
you are muted.
Maybe
my
Hannah
problem?
can switch off. No. Maybe Hannah can switch off her camera,
picture.
so maybe the power goes to the audio.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and yeah.
Not
I like
following
to
the
have-
sessions with the compound effect. She just joined in last time with Matthias Sutter, first time.
Ah, yeah. Yes. Okay. Did you see the recordings of the compound effect?
Not yet.
I don't
yet,
think
okay,
anybody
okay.
told her.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. But I will send you, or Sabine can send you. So if you want to look at it, you can do it because it's really helpful. Many of these tools. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Kenai, and then Sonat.
Firstly, good evening to all my ZUKI mentors and my friends and brothers and sisters. During the I was doing the feedback and I was feeling very happy because I was getting to know myself deeper, the qualities of mine. I was feeling happy and I was like, I went inside of me and I was searching for the qualities and the core values, which like respecting of all ages. So this means that day I was like fully me. During I was doing that, means I was doing the footwork, I was like fully me. So it was there were lots of questions which was like powerful question, I think, and those the first one, that gratitude assessment, that one I love the most because I means I could write the person I love the most. I am thankful for what, means if somebody who helping me or to this world I'm thankful, or like this. The questions was so powerful, it touched my heart. And actually I have written four like gratitude assessment, core values, love letter, and that perfect husband and wife.
Wow.
About perfect husband and wife, I want to tell like, yes, to be in a good, to be the relation last longer, you should have to be trusting each other, be loyal to each other. So actually I have experience, I have written about my experience about fighting argument, my experience I've given. So I will it was a nice feedback, and it was like the best feedback I've ever given in this ZUKI session.
Thank you very much. Great. Wonderful. And speaking about this perfect husband and wife, many of you just wrote what an ideal Indian husband or wife should be, but you also can think about what you especially want from your husband and wife. So if you did not yet do that, so maybe just imagine, I want a special kind of man or a special kind of woman. So you can not only just give this ideal image of the Indian wife or husband, but also think about your needs and your interests and what you exactly want from the man or wife who should be on your side for a long, long time. Okay, so if you want to add this, you can do that. Okay, thank you very much. So it's Sonat and then Rohit. Sonat, I sent the video and the picture to your sponsors. And I was very proud of you because you smiled. Maybe nobody knows, but I was always chasing Sonat through the whole project.
I know.
Because he didn't smile for the picture. So I was very proud of him smiling broadly.
So Nat, can I put this on Facebook, the pictures of your being the first one?
Yes, and you can, of course you can.
Fine, I will.
No problem.
We'll get many groupies.
We will tell it to the world.
And actually, I have not done the homework as I was busy doing my exam was there, then some not farewell fresher program, then sport. But I have done before this one when I was in school. I was very naughty boy. Then the counselor used to tell me do the mirror exercise because I was getting demotivated for some reason. So she used to tell me I used to do my mirror exercise. I used to stand in front of the mirror. I used to tell I am the best. I am the best. I can do it. I can do it. And I will. And this one and I want a good wife. That my wife should first of all she should be beautiful. This is a part of everybody, but most people hide this.
What is most important, Sanat? Is beautiful most important?
Yes, life is most important. Beautiful
but beauty will vanish, maybe.
But I know beauty will vanish, but somewhere inside of our heart, everyone is wife or husband should be beautiful or handsome. Everyone want. Most people try to hide it. What I want, beautiful wife, and my wife should behave when I am in kitchen. She should behave like a mother. When I am outside, she should behave like a friend. When I am in bed, she should behave like a wife. This all
like a lover. Okay, very clear idea. So I think you will get the ideal wife. You have a very precise picture of her.
Yeah, so we'll see the vision boards, and then so month after month, year after year, the wives and the husbands. Okay.
And Sandra, just one question: did you also visualize yourself being the first one in St. Xavier's? Well,
actually, no. I have not visualized that one. That I will be the best boy. But I was trying to give my best to do something. As it was last year in my college, I missed for last 2 years. I was in lockdown, nothing I could not done. So I was trying to do my best in whatever category, whether in academic or in co-curricular activity. I was trying to give all my name, and also this time in my college, I came topper in the syllabus, academic and sport also. So I don't know, someone they selected my name.
Great. Congratulations once more.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And Rohit and then Anuradha. Rohit, can you hear me?
Rohit was not. He's the first time.
Was
he's
not.
joining.
I just looked, he was not in the sessions. Yes. Okay. So it's Anuradha and then Robin, please.
Good evening, everyone. Especially, I have liked the homework. That one is tracking smart step towards goal. I feel that every day, if it makes productive, and I feel every day like this, if we continue to achieve small goals, one day it will become very easy, and we will become habituated, and it will become very easy to achieve greater success. And another thing I like is I would like to recommend vision board. It actually gives actual visualization. we can visualize our goals every day, and it will be most effective thing if we do and continue to practice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, what would you recommend, Anuradha? The visualization. Okay. Okay, I think we heard it. Okay, so it's Robin and then Milon.
Robin told me before that
Mandy, good
he
evening.
was not joining
evening.
this class.
He was not in the last session. Yes, but in the first session. Did you look at the recording of the second session, Robin?
Yeah, I've seen that, but I don't have the book to do the homework. So I couldn't do my homework because I don't have the book to read the stories and all. So I couldn't do
This
the
was the
homework.
first homework. The second homework was independent of the book. You didn't need the book.
Yes, the second
Just
homework.
look at the recording, and everything is in the recording and in the PDF of the second session. The book was not necessary.
Yeah, but
Okay, and please ask Shika that she can help you to get the book. Okay.
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 So just make your homework for the next session, okay, or during this week, or okay. Okay. So it's Milon and then Debkumar.
Hi, good evening, everyone. And now in India, all over India, it's like, can you? Hello. Hello.
Hi, Milon. We can hear you.
Yeah. So all over India, it's like KGF, KGF. So I will start with that one, like powerful question, make people powerful. So you are the powerful question. Like we never got this kind of question in our life. So when I was going through the question, the gratitude assessment, so it was like finding myself more and more. So I realized that whenever you are focusing and when you go through yourself deeply, then you will understand what you actually have and what actually this world need from you. So it was kind of a good also because each and every member of this session we are having, like each member have always like one sometime have thought this one that like 3 points we have given, right? So it was very difficult which point we have to give this one. So it was a new thing for me. So it was very good actually. And this one I would like to keep the tracking not only for this homework, but it is very helpful because I know that I'm on the track right now. um, because sometimes like before we used to what we used to do when we are not feeling good, so we used to sleep and do random thing. But when we are not feeling to study, we know that we have this thing also instead of sleeping or just staying idle. So it's very important. I would recommend not to this like session or Zuki member or Ananda David, but I would really recommend to each and every people in this world. In hostel I have already recommend many people that you should follow because so always they complain that we are not having good time and all this one. So I recommend them that try to track yourself because like there have also bad habit over here. So I recommend that try to do your like whatever you want to do, some small stuff also. So you won't feel boring or depression. So I will and thank you actually to like getting this kind of assessment in the session.
Great. Wow. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Debkumar and then Supajis.
Hi everyone. Good evening to
Hi.
everyone present over here. First of all, I will talk about core value. Every people in this world, they have some inner imagination or the inner power they have, but they just need to focus on that to put that in their dreams, which they will fulfill one day. Like this ZUKI session gave me a wonderful important thoughts, ideas which will improve my life in a day, and I will be a successful person. And second one is mirror exercise. Everyone should follow that mirror exercise because every people think that I cannot do that, but there is no word that I cannot do that. You can do that. You just need to focus on your goal and your studies. Like earlier times in 10 or 12, my result was not that too good, or that I have just 60% average score. But in now college, I have the language that I know better, that I can score well in that better, and I have focus that I will get a good job. So my point of view, or two things I will like to tell everyone, that everyone has a dream which they can achieve. Just they need to focus on their uh, things that they are better or they are best in their things.
Great.
Very
Thank you.
impressive.
Thank you.
Good speech.
Wonderful. Yes, mindset is almost everything. Why mindset and action? Decision, mindset, action. Great. Thank you
And
very
this,
much.
this homework gave us such a wonderful thoughts or the question that are, it will feel that the question is easy, but if you want to answer the question, it is very hard, because you have to express your views. The view should be in a word, and that word will describe how your life will begin. If you are, it is not about writing an essay or writing a paragraph. You just need to say in a word. That word will describe your thing. Like in earlier times, I used to have an online class, and then after that in evening, if I don't have a extra class with the professor, then I used to go for sleep. But now by this homework, you need to think, you need to realize that what should I write that will think, or that will make the other understood that my point of view. So it helps me in my learning things, and it gives me to practice every day, and it gives to improve you day by day in a like a footstep.
Yes, it's about creating the best version of yourself. And you are in a good way, I think, Devkumar. Great.
I think Devkumar Malis is now very motivated finding a sponsor for you, because she's the one looking for it.
No. Actually, you Zuki are. I will be very grateful when I actually told Claudia or the Malis about my problems in middle of lockdown. I couldn't pay my college fees. Then Claudia helped me. I will be very thankful, because if she couldn't help me, so I will be not in college, and I couldn't get that 2 marks that I have promised Claudia, and I did that thing, and I told that I will do a better than that.
Okay, fine.
Great.
We are glad
we love
that
to
you
hear
have
that.
the
Okay, I will look
motivation.
for a sponsor, Devkumar.
Thank you.
Very soon. Okay, so now it's Suphasis, and then Akash, please.
Good evening, everyone. From the assignment, I have learned a lot, and I feel that everything is important. But what I would like to mention is gratitude assessment, and it is important and very important, because it actually reminds you that you are not unlucky, or you are really a lucky person, or you have lots which others don't have. And it always, instill you to look in the positive side of life, and it actually starts a positive mindset and a positive process in your life, and also motivates you. So every day we do this, every day would be a sort of successful day and positive day. And the next thing also I would like to mention is the daily rhythm. That is also very helpful, because it at the end of the day you actually know how much progress have you made, and yeah, by the end of the month you can actually formulate that, yes, am I improving or not, or do I need to work more? So this is also very important. And yes, so I will always tell my friend and colleagues to follow this two things, and also others. And yes, and thank you, Malis, for the great lesson. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So it's Akash, and then Sona.
Auntie, actually, I'm helping my grandmother in settling my house. I was
Akash,
just
you made the
listening.
homework. Akash, you made the homework.
Yes,
I've
you
seen
sent me the
Yes.
homework.
I have made the homework, but now I'm helping my grandmother, but still listening what others are saying.
But
So
you can tell about your experience doing the homework.
my experience, it
Yes,
was
Mhm.
really new, and I was surprised because I had to think a lot. I was talking to Auntie Ella, she was helping me. It was quite interesting also. I liked it a lot, and I could recognize or remember my childhood days, those experience which I have already faced in my life, the experience, the unfortunate things that is going on in my life, and the skills that that God has given me. All these things I was when I was discussing with Auntie Ella, then I I was very much happy because I could recognize my childhood days.
And
It
I
was quite
think
interesting topic.
I think you also realized, as Subhasi said, how fortunate you are in many respects.
Yes. I'm very much fortunate because especially in India, means if the mother dies, then the grandmother does not take care of the children. Usually they throw away the children, or they just tell their children to go and beg and earn their own living. But I'm fortunate that I got such a grandmother who is helping me. She is not looking, she doesn't care about her own problem, but she is very much busy with our life so that we can live happily and we can do something in our life. So I'm very much fortunate to get her in my life, and of course because of her only I could have found an English medium school. Because of her I have learned so many things, so I'm very much grateful to her, and of course to ZUKI team for helping me.
Fine, Akash. Okay. And I think you asked also Ella many questions.
Yes,
So
she was
sometimes,
sharing her childhood days with us.
So Ella is here to, if you have any problems and want to have some like tuition, then Ella makes one-to-one sessions, and you did. I think you were busy the whole weekend now. Last weekend, you had many private calls. Okay, thank you, Ella.
Thank you very much. So it's now Sona and then Chagat.
Hi, good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you, Malini, for the great homework. I felt very much excited. I really liked what Kanai said. Gratitude assignment and core value was very much heart touched for me. The whole day I thought of myself. And then the mirror exercise. For the mirror exercise, I felt very much challenging and difficult and funny also. The first day I felt I was smiling. Yes, of course, I was feeling afraid also. Then slowly I gained lots of confidence. And then I tried with doing reels in Instagram. You know, coming in front of mirror, coming in front of the camera, you feel more confident. So I tried with that one. And I also recommended all this homework, means that mirror exercise and love letter one, to my college friend, those who are having this affair and same problem like me. They're also gaining some confidence. Thank you, Malis, for this homework.
Great. Yeah, it's a challenge to start this mirror exercise because we are not accustomed to say nice things about ourselves. Normally we criticize ourselves or blame ourselves, but now we just appreciate what we are doing, and it makes a big part in a good and healthy self-confidence. Great, thank you. So it's Chagat and then Moidula.
Mirror exercise is the one of the most popular things which I like the most. It will increase my confidence. Tomorrow I have a PowerPoint presentation, means in front of 105 students I have to give a PowerPoint presentation what I am doing means in my project. So I think it will help me to be confident in front of them. And next thing is, if I want to recommend to my friends, I want to recommend that you need to follow your daily records. Means if you have a timetable, you will know, means after a month, as Subhashi said, after a month, you will know whether you are going in a right direction or whether you need to give more effort. Second thing is, if you have a timetable, it will always remind you the tomorrow what you will do. Means timetable is helping you to be in your track. So these are the two things I like.
Yeah, to get a good structure in your life. Yeah. Great. Fine. I'm happy. Thank you very much. Moidula and then Ratin.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. So like all the assessments are really thought-provoking and they're really grateful. Like if followed on a regular basis. The assessments which I have done here are the gratitude assessment and the perfect husband and wife. But like the gratitude assessment, it's wonderful because we must realize why we are grateful. Of course, like we are grateful. So like we must realize it from within. That's very important. And when we realize it, we must also realize the responsibilities we have towards our own life and the life we have dreamed and promised to ourselves. Like being successful and being somebody, like being somebody what we were not previously. And I think the daily rhythm, the tracking one, that is also very helpful because I have been following it for a long time, and it is really helpful because you know what you need to do and the things like if you did not achieve some of your daily works, then you can the next day like you should do that like on the first basis. So like that makes you realize that like the things you need to do, and again like after doing this, after like completing your work, then you like mark a tick and then you proceed to a next work. Thank you so much, Malisya. And also all the assessments are very thought-provoking and very helpful and productive.
Thank you very much. Great. Wonderful. You are wonderful people and you make yourselves even more wonderful. So you are already very good versions of yourself and you make even better versions. So yes, we will be overwhelmed. Thank you. Ratin and then Chagat.
Yes, Santi.
No, Chagat we had already, sorry. Ratin and Sayarul.
Yes, so gratitude assessment, which helped me to understand how much fortunate and privileged I am. It also helped me to look and think positively instead of complaining about it sometimes. Those questions were very simple yet very thoughtful actually. Previously, I never thought about those questions, but after doing those, it helped me to rethink about my surrounding, where I am and what I am doing, why I must be thankful to everything. It is really so encouraging and so helpful. And the next, that was a mirror activity. It helped me to be more confident whenever I looked at my own eyes and tried to speak at myself. It helped me to be confident more and more. So yeah, it is helping me a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Sayarul and then Tinko, and then I think we are done. I think Tinko will be the last one.
I think Cyril is new in the group. Cyril, we just added him, so he was not joining then.
Yes, okay. So Cyril, we send you the recordings and you can look at them and maybe also find some homework which can help you in your life. Okay, we will send it. So it's Tinku. And then I'm very curious about the new tools of Luise.
Good afternoon, good evening to everyone. So my topic is mirror exercise. From mirror exercise, I used to talk in front of every people. So after that, I started doing mirror exercise in front of the mirror and how to speak in front of the people. And like that, I used to make some videos also by telling my friends to hold the camera in front of me, and like that uh, I used to get fearless from that things. And in our hostel we had our gathering. Once we have our gathering, our father told us that we will have gathering. Yesterday only we had our gathering. So over there from the college side, I have given a speech.
Wow.
So yeah, my experience about the college. I have came new in hostel. That's why father told to give a speech about that, how you are experiencing in your hostel and college life. So about that, I have told in front of all the boys. We are something 52 or 60 boys. We stay in our hostel. By that, I've overcome my fear. So
So
thank
you
you,
made your
Marlies.
speech in the hostel you are staying now, in the college you are staying now. You made the speech yesterday or in Nalanda school?
No, in this hostel.
Okay.
St. Xavier's.
Okay.
Yes.
So everybody who starts there, who is a fresher, has to present himself? Is it like that?
Not everyone. The only means father has told me to tell a speech. Means he has
Means from
point
one
out
class, one or two
someone
boys.
randomly. He has point out me.
I see.
Yeah.
So that they can practice making a speech. Is this the meaning of it?
Yeah.
Actually, no, it was actually get together where you have to speak your experience and you have to share your thought about the hostel and the boys and what are the burden you are getting here, what are the obstacles and how to overcome it, and overall it was like a time management. You have to share your feeling. It is compulsory, and every month we have one get together where everyone will get an opportunity. So you have to speak
So to practice
and think about the best.
speaking.
Yes.
Practice in front to speak in front of public, about in front of an audience. This is the meaning of it. Okay.
Okay, so the mirror exercise gave you the self-confidence to do it in a more relaxed way.
Yeah.
Great.
So for that reason, I want to thank Marlies auntie and Zuki for helping me and overcome this fear.
Great,
Thank you.
great. I'm very happy. One last thing I wanted to tell you, the love letter is not just to tell nice things to the other person, but to get rid of all the bad things. So you start with a big, I'm angry, I'm furious, I'm sad, I'm disappointed. Okay. And then you write pages and pages and pages and pages about the bad things. And only when the bad things are really out of yourself, yes, all in the pages and nothing more left in your mind, then you are free to say I love you. And you don't have to hand out the letter. You can keep it for yourself, but on a deeper level you are connected to this person and there's a changement in the relationship, even if you don't hand out the letter. Okay, but don't start with I love you because you're so lovely. Okay, and in fact you hate this person, so just tell him that you hate him and why. Okay, and the second is thank you for the books you chose. So it's 3 times the magic, then 17 times the success principle, 17 times the millionaire mindset, 7 times the friends, how to get friends, and 3 times Ho'oponopono. Okay, so I will check with Chika how we can distribute the books. Last time I had 2 or 3 boys who helped me to find the groups who could share the books and hand out the books. So maybe I think it was Surge or maybe Moidula, I don't know.
Modul.
Yeah, so maybe you can help me again that everybody gets the books as soon as possible. Okay, so thank you very much. It was a wonderful experience for me coaching your group, and thank you very much. And I hand over to Louise. You're muted.
I know. Okay, thank you, Marlies. Thank you all. It was really thrilling to listen to you. And I've got one tiny request concerning Sairul, who is new today. And I would like, Sairul, to get your opinion So first of all, I would also like to hear you speak. And from what you have heard just now, have you already got a favorite you are going to try out? Interesting to hear. So you need your microphone, Cyril.
Hello.
Yeah. Are you? Can you hear us, Cyril? Maybe Cyril was not expecting me to ask him this request, Marlies.
Yes, I think he is nervous.
Okay, so maybe you start your presentation.
Yes. Okay.
And
maybe there will be some. Yeah.
He has a little bit time to think over it, and at the end we can ask again.
Okay.
Hello.
It's good. Hello. Okay, so let's do it like that, Cyril. You will have a chance to tell us that at the end of our session today. I'm going now to take over. That means I will share my screen again with you. And we will turn to the topic, how we all can find our focus. And let me start by this. This is called an acronym. An acronym is a word that consists of the first letters of other words. So I like this acronym of focus, follow one course until successful. Meaning, what you are going to hear from me today, please consider it as a choice of possibilities. And you choose the one that most appeals to you. Like you are walking around in a supermarket and you see some interesting tools on the shelves, and you take the one that appealed to you and try them out. That is my offer for you today. And I would like to start my presentation or my input with this thought. Either you run the day or the day runs you. The way you start your day is crucial, and it decides whether it's going to be a successful and good day. That's why I've got another question for you, where I would like to ask you, what is the very first thing you do after waking up in the morning? I mean, apart from the obvious things of your morning, sorry for the spelling mistake, of the morning toilet. What is the very first thing you do? I have again prepared a Mentimeter poll. You see, you can just turn to Mentimeter again. The code is still valid. You don't have to enter it again. And you see the options. Do you do some physical exercise, or do you meditate? Do you check your mobile phone for WhatsApp, social media, whatever as the first thing? Or do you plan your day and go through the things that are waiting for you? Or is there something else? Okay? Can you please turn to this Mentimeter and insert your choice? And I will stop here and also go to Mentimeter. The results are already here, can be seen. That was very quick. No, only 7 persons. So 8 persons. We are still waiting. Still waiting for what is going to be the winner, so to speak. Go on, please. This time, really, I would love if everyone could contribute. And if not, we will really stop here and ask what prevents you from taking part. Because I think there must be at least 18 participants of you, and we have got 11 now.
Ratin writes in the chat that he doesn't know how to do it. Maybe you can explain one more.
Thank you. Yes, Ratin. What you have to do is you have to go to a browser, Safari or whatever, Google Chrome and enter the internet site www.menty.com. That is the first step. And the second step is you need to enter this code. In fact, Marlies, maybe could you, because I cannot, otherwise I would stop my screen sharing, but if you could be so kind as to write the code into the chat.
Yes.
That would be super. 6023, or you can see it yourself. So Ratin, I hope this works now. We've got 14 participants and there is a clear trend. Obviously, you see checking your mobile phone is clearly first, followed by the runner-up doing some physical exercise. 14% go through their plan of the day or do something else, and meditation is practiced by 7%. Okay, so that is really interesting. And I think, 15, aha! So we have now a tie between physical exercise and checking your mobile phone. Okay, but there is a clear trend, so I'll stop here and continue in my other presentation. So this was just the start. And let me stop here before we go to this next one with this input once again. I think it was Jagat who mentioned this clear structured day, the timetable, who also seems to have realized how important it is to give your day a structure. And as we have seen now here, a fairly big part of you take the mobile phone as the first thing they check in the morning. And I would like to stay with that for a little bit and would now like to know the time span. When you wake up in the morning, how long does it take you to wake up and grab this phone? So this is why I have got this second poll here. How many minutes there are usually between waking up and checking your smartphone? And here, my friends, I have to ask you to change the code. Why? Because I only have the free version of Mentimeter. If I pay more than 100 euros per year, I could have more slides per presentation. In the free version, you can always have 2 slides. So we have already used our 2 slides. So if you go to Mentimeter, and please be so kind as to enter the code 35812746, and you will need this one more time at the end of our session today. Okay, I think you have got the code, and I have to, it's a little bit stressy for me to change here, but yeah, the results are already here. You can see them. Cool. But we have only 6 people who answered so far. And you see it's moving. It's changing. I'm not quite sure. You see, this tool is also new for me. I don't know if you're influenced by seeing the results, those who have not entered theirs yet, their results yet. But only now is it that you can see them. So we have 13.
It's a funny tool. Great.
I like it. Yeah, I got it. My daughter explained it to me. They use it for there's lots and lots of Zoom sessions, and I was fascinated from the start and wanted to try it out today. Okay, so you see 6 people check it immediately after waking up, and 5 within the first hour, and 4 after 1 hour or later. But the majority does it immediately. Okay, so that's why now at this very point, I would like to have a discussion, a short discussion just here, interactive. What is your morning routine? Actually, I wanted to do it in a breakout session, that you go together in groups of 3 and tell each other what your morning routine is like. But we can do this. I thought we would do it like that. 3 volunteers, maybe, who think, I would like to share my morning routine, because maybe you were the one who ticked something else. Is there anything else you include in your morning routine that has not been mentioned yet? Let's just get to know each other better and yeah, share a little bit of your morning routine. If you're interested, I can tell you mine, but I don't want to force it upon you. Yeah, okay, Sanat, please.
My morning routine, to get up at 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock, I go to washroom. Then I go for little bit exercise, meditation. After that, I go for my breakfast, which is given at 7 o'clock. After that, I come for my study till 9 a.m. After that.
Okay, so, Sanat, okay, that's already, the morning is done. So if I have understood you correctly, you have this fixed routine that you get up and then you said you do some little exercise. What exercise is that?
Physical exercise.
Did I understand you correctly?
Yes,
which
yes.
exercise is it? What do you do? Do you do push-ups?
I do some skipping, push-up, then pull-up, then sit-up, and some little bit running I do.
Okay, and do you do the same things every morning, or do you change according to what you're feeling just now?
No, do every morning same.
Every morning the same. That's interesting. And the second question I have, you said meditate.
I do
how
meditation.
long do you meditate?
I do minimum I try to do 5 minutes and maximum 10 minutes I try to do.
Okay, interesting. Yes.
And
okay,
I do meditation.
And when?
And I do meditation in my Indian way, like Om Shanti. I do like that.
Okay, and Sanat, when does your smartphone come in your daily routine?
After coming from washroom, I take my smartphone up, I play song and I do exercise.
Super. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think it's, is there a volunteer? I don't want to stop you. Is there a volunteer who would also like to share her morning routine?
Yes, me.
Yes? Go ahead, please. What's the yes, me? Azad. Okay, go ahead, please.
I don't have any exact time to wake up, but the point of time I just get up, it is like between 8 to 9. Immediately I just try to find out my phone, where is the charger, and I just plug it off, because the entire night the phone was under charge. So I just switch it off, then I see some notification, WhatsApp, then I go to the washroom. After that, I open the news, and every day following the news, what is the current news.
Yes, so you are the one who, you do start with the smartphone, but it's the news that are in the focus of your interest. You want to see what's going on in the world.
Yes.
Okay. There's no right or wrong. I mean, everyone does that as he or she likes. The thing is, as when Sanat, so does his morning routine, is you are more staying within yourself. You're not going in the outward world yet. You invite the outward world in as soon as you check your phone and see what is waiting for you there. But it's perfectly okay. Everyone has her own routine, as I said, and you decide what is best for you. Okay, thank you for this contribution. There will be more possibilities to share coming along as we go on. And now, I think now it's really time to focus on your focus. And here is the point where I want to introduce this book to you. In fact, it was this book, it was only released at the end of January this year, that sparked this idea in me to devote this session on the topic focus. It is this book called Stolen Focus: Why You Can't Pay Attention and How to Think Deeply Again. It's a most fascinating book. It has influenced me greatly, and I think it's going to influence the way we consider the world we're living in now, to a great extent, the more it will become known. I mean, it's already well known. Johann Hari is a famous New York best-selling books author, and he wrote this book because he discovered in himself that he was losing his focus. And he decided to completely cut off himself from the digital world for 6 months. He handed in his smartphone and laptop and internet device, everything, for 6 months, went to Provincetown in the USA. He's a British author. And there he realized what that was doing with him. And also he gathered evidence and experience from the most renowned experts and professors around the world. He flew around and met them at their places, and all these information, all these new insights he collected in the book. And in a nutshell, I will give you the 4 main takeaways. First one is, we are switching tasks at unprecedented speed. I'm sure you notice that in yourself as well. We are switching from one task to the next. We have never done that before. And the thing is that the more information we inhale, the less we are able to focus on any piece of it. Our brains aren't designed to absorb so much at a time. By the way, the reason why you have this text here is that maybe if some people want to just look at the PDF of this presentation again, you have the main pieces of information here, so you don't have to remember them all. That would be too much. For example, this interesting study, 136 students took a test, and some had their phones turned off, while the others received occasional text messages. And I mean, not surprisingly, those who received these messages scored about 20% lower than those who focused on the test only. The next takeaway is a really positive one. One of the best ways out of distraction is finding your way into flow. Marlies, I think, have you explained what flow is in this? Have they already come across this? No, flow is this state of mind, I'm quoting here Johann Hari himself, is when you are so absorbed in what you are doing that you lose all sense of yourself. You forget about time and space around you. Your time seems to fall away. You are flowing into the experience itself, and suddenly you look at your watch and you say, wow, what? 2 hours have passed. And this is the deepest form of focus and attention that we know of. There was this Italian, Hungarian, or he's still alive, scientist with the most difficult name, Mikhail Csikszentmihalyi, who discovered this state of flow in artists, in children, but also in people like you and me. It's whenever you are so deeply immersed in an activity that you forget about time and space, and I'm sure you know that feeling. Then you're doing the best to find your focus, to train your attention. I really discovered it this morning when I got carried away by preparing, fine-tuning this presentation, and I got this idea, that idea, and I realized that I was not conscious of, time flying. So That is the second takeaway after the first one. We are switching tasks at unprecedented speed, and the complete contrast to that is try and find your way into flow. The third message, this is really very far-reaching. It is a fact that technology is deliberately designed to distract us. Big-named websites, Facebook, Google, and co. They strive to distract because that is where they make their money. That is the key to their profitability. When we are looking at our screens, these companies make money for every single second we do that. When we are not, they don't. So what they are doing is trying to manipulate us, to keep us there, to keep scrolling, to keep clicking. And this is a built-in distraction that has really very far-reaching consequences, not only for us as individuals, but also for us as societies, because we are losing our individual focus and we're also losing our common focus. It is a systemic problem, and it really needs a systemic solution. It would go too far now if I went beyond that. So let me just finish this short summary by two things. Thing number one is, if you are interested in this book, and it is really most fascinating reading, it's not a bit as boring, although there's such a lot of expert and research results in there, but he always combines it with his personal story and the people he met all over the world, experts who had been working in Silicon Valley and then left it. And it's incredible. So if you want to read this book, I have got it as a PDF. I've been given it myself. An acquaintance of mine sent it to me, so I can pass it on, but I'm not going to put it in the group. Anyone who is interested in this book and would like to read it himself, herself, please just drop me a line and I will send it to you. Okay? So that is my offer. And the second point before we move on is just 2 minutes. 2 minutes where we are going to catch two birds with one stone. Why? Bird number one is you get to know this Johann Hari speaking, and it is introduced. And the second one is that you get to know this podcast of Rich Roll. I was recommended this podcast 5 years ago by my eldest son, Michael. And I must say it is one of the best English-speaking podcasts I've ever come across. It's highly recommendable. It improves your English. It improves your insights. And so that is the second bird. And now, it's not longer than 2 minutes, but please give yourself this opportunity to get to know this author.
I think we need to realize when we are plugged into the machinery that makes us angrier and angrier and angrier. If it's enraging, it's engaging, it will keep people scrolling. We need
no sound.
Reclaim our minds.
Oh, sorry.
We are not medieval peasants begging at the court of King Zuckerberg.
Sorry?
For a few little crumbs of attention from him.
I'll be with you in a minute. Sorry.
Diese zwei Häkchen.
I know. It's just, there are so many things I have to think of. So this is what I did not do, sorry. But, yes, so here we are. I have to go there again. Here, and now you're going to hear it. I'm sorry. Now you can hear it.
I think we need to realize when we are plugged into machinery that makes us angrier and angrier and angrier. If it's enraging, it's engaging, it will keep people scrolling. We need an attention movement to reclaim our minds. We are not medieval peasants begging at the court of King Zuckerberg for a few little crumbs of attention from his table, right? We are the free citizens of democracies. We have dignity. We own our own minds, and we can take them back if we want to.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the podcast. Today, we're going to tackle an issue I think we can all relate to, which is our declining ability to do something very fundamental, which is to simply maintain our focus and pay attention. It might sound silly, but this is actually a growing problem, and it's not necessarily our fault. It's a problem that's being fueled by powerful forces incident to modern life, and a problem I think can fairly be characterized at this point as somewhat existential. My guest for this discussion, back for his second appearance on the show, his first being RRP 416 4 years ago, is journalist and multiple New York Times bestselling author Johann Hari, who, when confronted with his own declining ability to focus, ended up spending a couple years going really deep into the reasons why this was happening and the individual and systemic solutions to this dispiriting trend. Johann's books include Chasing the Scream, which is about depression, Lost Connections, which explores the roots of addiction, and his latest, Stolen Focus, Why You Can't Pay Attention, which is the basis for today's exploration into the many forces robbing us of our attention and a look at how we might begin to reclaim our minds and our lives. Johann is quite the entertaining storyteller. I really enjoyed this discussion, so please hit that subscribe button and enjoy. Well, I love the book.
Okay, so I will stop here with Johann Hari, but I really, really strongly recommend anyone who is interested to read this book. And let's take this as a basis to go on with our topic. I'm sorry, I can just see when I want to share my screen. Yes. Sorry, I have to open my presentation again. Here we go. Yes. And so let's take this as a basis on which to build on the next things we're going to talk about. And that, of course, you are here today because what is the focus of your life, of your interest? It is you want to learn, you want to take away tools, how you can improve your focus in your school or study life. So that's why I'm now showing you a response that Matthias Sutter gave to a question someone of you put in this feedback questionnaires. Someone of you asked, what are the things and thoughts that kept Matthias motivated at the teenage time to do hard work? And I know, and especially after the feedbacks I've been listening to now that you have just been giving, I know that there are so many amongst you here in this group who are ambitious and who have found out already now that in order to succeed, you have to work hard, and which means in particular to invest lots of time into your education, even when it's not always fun. You have already come to this level to realize that, and that's why we are here to help you with that. And so my first piece of advice is, if you want to stay focused, think of where this word focus comes from. It comes from spotlights that focus on one place at a stage, that are light that is concentrated, that is focused on one point. And this is a metaphor for you for being aware that when you are focused, you focus on doing what you are doing and nothing else. And in order to illustrate that, I would like to show you this picture that I find ever so touching. Look at this nice elderly lady. She is completely focusing on what she's experiencing here. That is her whole focus. And look at the rest of the people there, capturing the moment, capturing the moment, not experiencing it, capturing the moment with their mobile phones, not the moment itself. Okay, so this brings me to the point that in order to stay focused, you must remove distractions. And one of the most powerful distractions that only we now in the last years, 2007 the smartphone was introduced, so not even 20 years, in the last, let's say 10, 15 years, this is the most powerful distraction in our life. And that's why I would like to stay with that for a little while, just a minute, and stop that presentation here and tell you a little story of my time when I was a teacher. And that was about 5 years ago. I was in the senior class, the last class of school, and there we came across this study in our English lesson, a study showing that the mere fact that your smartphone is lying next to you, even if it's turned upside down or even switched off, but if it's lying next to you while you are doing some task, cognitive tasks, your performance deteriorates significantly. Because, can you imagine why? There is a certain brain drain, meaning you have to split your brain here, and one part always tries, to shut off this thought. I could check, maybe there is some interesting thing on Facebook or WhatsApp, whatever. So they had these students, 2 groups. One group that did a cognitive task with smartphones lying next to them, switched off. The second group, exactly the same task, had their smartphone locked away in a separate room outside. Imagine the group who had tucked away their smartphones did significantly better in this cognitive task than the other group. So we in our classroom then developed this routine. When the students would come into my English room where I taught them, I had a special room for myself. We had a desk behind them that I had covered with paper and made little boxes with the catalog numbers, and everyone put her smartphone on her catalog number. For the rest of the lesson, switched off behind them, so at least it was out of sight. It was not possible to store it in another room. And yeah, I cannot really tell if it made a difference, but it's just an inspiration for you to think about the fact. Maybe try this out. I think it's really well worth a try. Okay, let's move on. Funnily enough, this morning, believe it or not, I listened to a very short radio program, only 15 minutes, which was all about how to regain our attention. And in this radio program, Ö1, Claudia Malis, 9:45 today, they mentioned this tool of focused distraction. Isn't that strange? These 2 words combined together in one tool. But it's really worth trying. This is what it looks like. It is based on this fact. The more you suppress a thought, the more you think of it. It's impossible. The more you suppress the thought, I must not look at my smartphone. Oh, it does not do my brain any good. The more you suppress this thought, the more you think of it. That's a fact. Okay? So what this focus distraction suggests is you prepare an inner picture, an image. They mentioned a red car, for example, or a flower. You prepare a picture that you really see in every big detail. It can be anything that you like. And now here comes the point. Whenever you feel the urge to check your phone, you all know this urge, don't we? Then visualize this stop image, your red car, your flower. Meaning you use a special distraction to fight your distraction. You use something that you have already prepared and bring this in picture to your mind, and maybe you can then resist this temptation, at least for 10 minutes. I heard a journalist today, Florian Klenk, who said he wished, because he says, he confesses he's really addicted, to twittering, and he tweets far too often. And he says he wished there were an app that would force him to delay his tweet for 10 minutes. It would have saved him a lot of trouble. But by this exercise, you can try that yourself. Delay your urge by focused distraction. Okay, I hope you could understand what this is all about. If you want, let's see, what is my next? Oh yeah. We will stop after my next slide and discuss about that. Okay, because stay focused, remove distractions. It goes without saying, and I would like to discuss the fact that is this designating a study area. Why would I like to discuss that? Where can you concentrate best? I would like to discuss that also because I know we here in Austria, we are in a privileged situation. Usually people have their own study room even, or there's no question of not having a designated area to study. And maybe it is asking too much of me now to say, yes, designate your study area. So can you please share with us, where can you concentrate best? What is your favorite study area? Do you have any? Or how do you go about? Where do you concentrate? Where can you concentrate best? Is there a volunteer who would like to start, who has not said a lot yet? Maybe Cyril, you could have your contribution now, or whoever would like to say something now. Or otherwise we ask someone. Anna, yes, Hannah, please go ahead. Well, hang on, you have to unmute your microphone, Hannah. We cannot hear you, Hannah.
Okay,
yes.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I want to concentrate on something. I want to see the thing from in the beginning, and then something makes me happy to concentrate on him. For example, like a jewelry, hairstyle, and something mark on there, and something new around the area, and that's make me to concentrate on there.
Ah, interesting. Yes, okay. Whatever helps is good. Thank you, Hannah. Is there any?
But Hannah, how can you, because Louise asked about the study area, and I know that you live in a very narrow place with your siblings and your mother. So which place can you choose to study? Do you have just a chair where you are sitting and you try to concentrate on your books, or how do you manage?
On the floor. I want to sit on the floor, and then more concentrate on a book or whatever I do.
Okay. And are the people silent around you, or are they noisy? Hannah? I think there's no connection. Okay, so somebody else.
Claudia.
I want to volunteer.
Claudia, thank you.
Yes.
I want to
yes,
volunteer.
Modul.
Yes, Jagat is, I think. Oh,
sorry, Jagat. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes.
Someone is saying something.
Yes, Jagat, please go ahead.
Yeah. When I go for study, means I have a table and I keep only one book. If I have two books, I open one book and I started thinking of another book. So that's why I remove all my books. Means I keep all my books in the bed and I remove everything from the table, only one book. And if I have a wall in front of me, that should be only of one color, which is light. So it will it
You
will help
just
me
have
to
the
focus.
plain wall. There's no picture
Yes.
you put or anything. No.
Yes, yes.
And what about your mobile phone? Where do you put it?
Mobile phone means I have thought of switching off, but nowadays means everything is there in the mobile phone only. Means I have to study from PDF. Means if I open my book, suddenly my mind gives excuse and it tells me that in your mobile only you can study from YouTube, this and that thing. So it distracts me a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Claudia, thank you for contributing with your really, really important questions. This reminds me of one thing. Can you remember quite some time ago, we spoke about the Pomodoro technique. This technique that it's called Pomodoro because this man who discovered it's just a simple timer in the form of a tomato, which is Pomodoro in Italian. And he just discovered when he sets himself a timer, he said 25 minutes, when he sets himself the timer where he really diminishes every distraction whatsoever and works completely focused, if he does that, he really, really gets on well with his work. So I thought maybe you could even combine two things, the study that shows that if your mobile phone is in a different room, your brain can work better. Maybe you could try this. You don't have to switch it off. I hardly ever switch it off, but mute. You mute your phone and only set the timer for 30, 40 minutes, however long you want to concentrate. Put it in a different room and then completely focus on your book, on your one and only book, Jagat, for example, yes? And on the task that is lying ahead of you. Maybe this is really worth a try, removing your mobile phone and using it as a timer. Okay, thank you for your valuable contributions.
And is there just a question? Is there anybody else who has a really crowded place at home and has to try to because I was living with 4 of my siblings, we were 5 in a very tiny room and we have to study there. And I used to do it on the bed. And sometimes I was just, how do you say, unter die Decke kriechen of English.
Crawling under the blanket.
Yes.
In order to be
Yes, with some
undisturbed.
light and some torch, and then I was studying there. So this was my technique. Is there anybody who lives in a very crowded place and has to deal with many people around him or her?
Actually, when we was in a hostel.
Yes, in the hostel, yes.
In the hostel means lots of boys, lots of noise means we are practice means we have done means in front of the noise, now we can study. One thing I do is when sudden noises come, what I do is I put my headphone in my ear and I play some music. In YouTube you go, there is a study music, so you play it, so there will be no external noise which will come to your brain, so you play it and then do your maths or whatever you want to do.
Okay, and what kind of music was it, your study music? What kind of music was this?
You will place a what is study music in YouTube, so lots of music will come. So it is a very slow music.
Okay, so it's more calming. It's not like pop music, dance music. It's more slowing down. Okay, interesting.
And it definitely must be just instrumental music, no lyrics. That is really important. Yeah, there's also the scientific evidence that, for example, Baroque music, which has 60 beats per second, like a very relaxed heartbeat, is also around 60 beats per second, and Baroque music has that. And there has been evidence that this allegedly supports memorization and supports, taking in. Yeah, you can try it out. There are some people who say I must have complete silence, and there are some people who quite like being surrounded by some noise. Claudia, we were 4 of us, and I love doing my homework in the kitchen. My mother clattering around with the dishes and hearing noise, and this is where I could concentrate best. And later on in the staff room in school, we were 25 teachers, and I was envied by the fact that I could sit there and concentratedly and correcting vocabulary tests. So it is really, really different how people can concentrate it, but it's really good if you can find your own way. And Jagat, if you have some good
I didn't. Luise, we can't hear you, or is it just me?
Nein, ich glaube, die Luise ist eingefroren gerade.
Freeze.
Not audible, Luise.
Luise, we can't hear you. Now does it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's working again.
Strange.
Yes.
Very strange. But I could only hear you in slow motion, speaking in slow. I don't know. Okay. Good. So thank you for this contribution. There will be opportunity again to share. But now I'm going to share, that is the word, my screen again. So we have had this discussion about where you can go. Let's move on to the second bit of information. It is get organized. Create a study schedule and divide the material you have for an exam, for example, over the available days. And we had a structure feedback today where who was that? Was it Subasis? So Samrat? No, no, Jagat, sorry, you were the one with the timetable, I think. I'm sure you have already found good ways to divide this material, to create your study schedule. And if you have got some good tips to pass them on, please keep them for this little discussion round, which will come soon. And let me move on to the next point, which is very, very, I think, well known amongst every one of us, beat procrastination. You know what procrastination is? Procrastination means you keep putting off things that you ought to do. You keep postponing things that ought to be done. Saying, I'll do them tomorrow, not today. I'll do them tomorrow. So piece of advice is use your time wisely and be aware of the fact that work completed at school reduces your work that you have to do at home. And again, a tip from me from my career as a school kid. You see, I was minimalistic. I wanted to have my free time when I'm at home. You know, I was a really free spirit, reading my books and strolling around in the woods nearby our house and meeting friends. This was possible even without smartphones, I can tell you. So what I did was, when I was in school, I really, really concentrated. I was sitting fairly in front, you know, sometimes prompting, and I just concentrated and thought, the things that I do now, I don't have to revise at home. So just make the most of your time. Again, coming back to what you have heard before, focus means do exactly that, what you are doing. And when you are sitting in class, try to focus, even if it's boring, even if the lecture you hear, you are presented with is not perfect, there is always something you can take home, and you will get a tool later on how you can get the most of it. But use your time wisely. Don't procrastinate. Okay? Good. And then, last but not least, pay attention. It's said so easily, but what is meant by this is, when you are in class, don't rely on your memory that everything will stay there, but take detailed class notes for better recall. And I will stop here because this is a point where I really would like to ask you, do you take notes while you sit in class? And if yes, what kind of notes do you take? Do you do it in handwriting? Or do you type it somewhere? Or do you make a mind map, if you know that? Can I have some feedbacks? I would like to know, how do you take notes in class? Or do you take notes in class at all?
Yeah, I do take notes.
Sujo, you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
How
do
do?
take notes.
How?
Writing,
In which form?
Writing, pen and notebook.
Writing with a pen?
Yeah.
And not typing?
No.
Okay. Because again, research has shown that writing by hand is much more efficient than just, even if you're very quick at the keyboard, writing it into the computer. because when writing, your brain has to pre-structure the things. You cannot write everything down literally word by word. So you have to pre-arrange it, pre-organize it, and then take down the most important things. And this already does a lot, helping you remembering it. So you take notes in writing. Any other? Is there anyone who knows what mind maps are and uses mind maps? That would be interesting. Because if not, that could be a topic for a session on mind mapping. And let's have some interaction with the reactions. You know the reactions. So can you please, everyone who knows what mind mapping is, can you please give us a thumbs up or this green tick, either of the two? Ready, steady, go. Please turn to reactions and yeah, Ella, no. So you know what mind mapping is. Let's have a check of the opposite. Who does not know what mind mapping is? You know, there's this red cross in the reactions. Can you please turn? Do you see that? Or there is even something like that I have found. But can you please give us a sign that shows that you are not familiar with mind mapping? Okay, yes, that's good. Akash, that's a good sign. That says you are not familiar with mind mapping. What about the others? Subhashis, you know what mind mapping is? I cannot interpret your emoji. You don't know? Sona, you don't know? Okay.
I don't know.
So Subhashis, can you please make an... okay, Deb Kumar, I don't know. I cannot interpret. Can I? Can I? That is really distinct. Ratin, thank you. Okay. Deb Kumar, yeah. So there are some who don't know what mind mapping. Maybe we can combine this with another topic one day. Okay. So this is, thank you for your feedback on your taking notes for better recall. And this now brings me to, I would say, my last and also a very, very important point. And this is the question of reviewing. It says here, review a little each night. That is tip number 1. You know that our brain in the night, it is in the default network mode. We might think it is sleeping too, but in fact, completely the opposite is true. In the night, it is then that our brain restructures the input we have taken in during the day, reorganizes it, connects things with each other. And if the latest input that you had before going to sleep was, I don't know, a very, very negative YouTube video, it is this input that becomes connected with everything that is already there. But if you're in preparation of a very important exam coming up, and you review a little bit each night before you fall asleep, this greatly enhances your chances of retaining the things in your memory that you have studied during the course of the day. So please take this with you in your trolley in the supermarket as a tool that maybe you would like to try out. And a second aspect of this reviewing is this study that I want to share with you, as I think it's the last point of my presentation, and I don't want to keep your concentration too long. But this is really interesting, so please bear with me, even if this title at the beginning looks a little bit strange. Selective memory retrieval can revive forgotten memories. What does that mean? I'll stop it and explain it to you here. It means, as you know, scientists wanted to find out what is the benefit if you review something that you have just learned within a very short period of time, say 30 minutes. What effect does that have on your memory retrieval, on the amount of retention in your brain? So this was carried out in February in a university in Germany. It's also fairly recent. So what they did was they had 700 students and they split them in 2 groups. All the students had to bring 15 words to their memory. They had to memorize 15 words, okay? And then the one group, the control group, was occupied with other tasks before they were tested again on how many of these words they had retained after 3 hours. The test group was given within 30 minutes, was given just the initials, the first letters of the words they had learned, of 10 of these 15 words, and was thus motivated to try and recall these words. That was all, nothing more, okay? And then they also occupied themselves with something else. And as you can imagine, the really fascinating output was, after 3 hours, it is a law of nature that our recall performance drops down to about 50%. And this happened in this group which had not done any retrieval. In the test group that had done this retrieval, that had tried after 15-30 minutes to think of the words again that they had been memorizing, this recall performance stood at 75%. Okay, so what does this mean, folks? This means that when you are in a lecture, when you have just done some studying really hard, you can greatly enhance the chances of storing that in your memory very well by revising it after 30 minutes and by revising it with a tool that I would like to share with you now. Okay, so okay. I wanted to show you the results of this memory test, but obviously I have deleted it. Doesn't matter. What I would like to share with you now is this tool that you could use and try out one of these days. You have learned something new, or you have been in a lecture, and you take this tool, which is called Knowledge ABC, and take the first letters, here it's the alphabet, not necessarily in this order, and try to retrieve what you have just heard. See what is still there in your memory, but it must be within the first 30 minutes if possible. The longer you wait, the more difficult it is to retrieve these things, of course. And this is a really powerful tool. I've been using this a lot in my life. It is also a powerful tool if you, for example, want to search for ideas inside of you. If you have to write an essay, for example, on a special topic or give a presentation and you don't know what to write about, what to start with, you could start with making such a knowledge ABC and see what is already there in your so-called inner archive, you know, in your inner treasure box about this topic. Good. Without much further ado, learning by doing is always better than, you know, just mere theory. I have now here a little task for you. I would like you to go to the chat and try this out. So, when you hear the word ZUKI, what are your spontaneous associations? So, you don't have to start with A. If you're, say, M for Marlies, because, or whatever, or motivation, and also please write because, yeah? Because we don't have the time to discuss that. If I invited you only to write the words, that doesn't go so deep. When you do practice this knowledge ABC with yourself, of course, you don't have to write the because you know the because, why you wrote it there in the first place. Or J for them. Okay, so take any initial that comes into your mind first. And so let's now go to the, everyone now, okay, I'll stop it here. Everyone now, just for 3-4 minutes, not more, please go to the chat. I give you this ABC again. Think of ZUKI and just write down the very first association that comes to your mind. Okay? You know what to do? I don't share, I want to watch the chat. Okay. And of course, please write it to everyone in the meeting. I give you 3 minutes for your contributions. Ah, cool. Thank you. I'm not going to read them aloud because I don't want to distract you. Everyone is thinking of his or her own associations. Ah. Marlies, please, you have to write for every. You have this I get your news, your chat news.
Oh.
Okay, so just copy and paste it again. It's my fault because I had contacted you earlier on. Thank you. Cool associations coming in. Mm-hmm. Let's say 2 more minutes, please, because I want as many as possible. Ah, Milan, cool. Beautiful. I like your associations. You know what? As a homework for me, I will copy these associations and insert them in this document.
Mm-hmm.
And I will put it in our Google Drive folder. And It is a document that can grow. If you have more associations coming along, you can always contribute, and you can always, just make a comma and make another one. Cool. Happy relation. Shika is not here today, by the way. Okay, folks, thank you so much. You can go on writing in the chat if you want, because this, I must tell you, this is the fascinating thing with this tool, and there's also scientific proof of that. In German, it's called Quasi-Bedürfnis. It's a sort of quasi-urge. When you start a topic like that, when you start an activity like that, you see, it's an open-end activity. You could go on that for ages, and your brain does exactly that. It goes on subconsciously while you turn to something else. Your brain keeps on devoting itself to this task, and you will find that you're in the middle of, I don't know, your mind wandering or doing something, and suddenly, oh yes, there's one more association that comes to your mind. Good. Your homework will have to do something with that, but before I give you this homework, I would now like to invite you to raise any questions that come into your mind, anything you would like to know, anything that is connected with the topic so far. It's not yet the feedback round, because the feedback round today will be very quick but very efficient. Okay? And there is no need for a questionnaire afterwards, because I'm using this Mentimeter tool later on. You will find out, and this is really, really cool, where you write down your feedback, and we have it all in one then. So please go ahead. Which questions are now really burning on your tongue and you want to get rid of them? What else? What can I?
Hello, Lucia.
Yeah,
I have a
Moidul, go
question.
ahead.
I wanted to know, like, if you can help me with some of the tips on how to remember things. I forget things easily. So how can I remember things?
Okay, Moidul, if I understood you correctly, you want to know how you can remember something that, I don't know, do you have to give me an example? Because things, that is too vague. Which things do you want to remember?
Like anything. I mean, like, I forget things, like I forget everything very easily nowadays. Maybe because, like, as you have said, like, while discussing mobile phone, maybe because of mobile phone now I feel, or like sometimes I feel maybe I'm not, I don't know, maybe I just want to forget, but I want to remember, but I forget.
I know.
Like
So
anything.
you mean
I'm learning, yeah.
Mhm.
Earlier when I used to read books, I would remember a lot of things, the ideas, the inputs, the words. But nowadays, like, now I think, like, I don't have that, like, ability to remember that much.
I understand what you mean. You have the feeling that there is such an information overload as never before, and this somehow prevents you from keeping the things in your memory like you used to do earlier on. Because you have the feeling not such a lot as earlier on really remains stuck in your memory. Because, and you mentioned the mobile phone, because, yeah, somehow there's too much of a distraction. I can totally...
I feel maybe mobile phone might be one of the reasons, because, like, as you have said it before, that, like, mobile phone is one of the distractions, and because of, like, too much information, we are kind of grasping, and because of which, like, we are forgetting the things we must remember, and, like, in a way, like, we are not remembering anything, the important things.
I know. And one more thing, Moidul, is I don't know if you are among these people, but a lot of people think, why should I bother to remember? I can always look it up again. So they really don't want, to, because this is work you have to invest if you want to remember the things. And many people think I don't need, because I can always Google the things again. Okay, but maybe you are not among these people. So this is a really, really huge topic. And I can only break it down in little steps, and you can only break it down in little steps, Moidul. And this is because tiny habits, you will know, they really make a difference. You could, for example, do one thing. You could make it a habit to say once a day, this I'm going to remember. Whatever it is, whatever it may be, just one thing where you say, this I'm going to remember. And then, I mean, this motivation alone makes a difference because these 3 seconds is focus. And then, of course, there are tasks, there are things that can help you to remember them more easily. And if I had give it to you in a nutshell, what it all boils down to, in fact, is using images, using visualization, using associations. There is the so-called loci method that I already sent to you in the group. It was a long time ago, which can help you, for example, to remember the 10 key points of a presentation or the 10 key facts of something you have just studied, in the way that you associate it with things that are already there. It's difficult. That would be the topic of another session, really. But let me give you this tip. Try, when you say, okay, I'm going to remember that, try to hook it with something that you already know. Try to hook the new information with something that you already know. And review it at night or later. And don't forget to praise yourself. Then you say, okay, this is something I have remembered. Because there's one danger inherent in your attitude that you have just presented to us. You know that your subconscious is your servant. Your brain will do everything to help you achieve what you think. So if you think, I keep forgetting. Oh, I don't remember so much as I used to. I keep forgetting. This is what your brain hears. Okay, I will help Moidul to keep forgetting. You know? So you have to really praise yourself for little experiences of success where you say, wow, I remembered that. Maybe because you used some creative technique or you associated it with something that you already knew.
Like one form of association.
So
that
those
I
are
do,
the two.
Like one thing that I do is like with words, you know, like when I find, for example, happy word, and if I want to remember this word, I will try to find its synonyms.
Yeah, super. Exactly. That's exactly how the way to do it. And the step, yeah, or antonym, yes, or maybe from another language, or it can also be a crazy image, finding a picture in a word that is. I can only give you examples in German here. For example, I know. For example, imagine you meet a man called Mr. Niederwieser. That's a German, very common German name. Well, not common, but a German name. Niederwieser. Okay? You've never heard the name before. But you make a creative picture. You hear, need a visa. Okay? This man needs a visa. Could be a yeah, okay. And you see this man, you really take him in, and with your full attention, this is prerequisite. And maybe you imagine he has got this, maybe he has got a special hairstyle, and you see the visa here above his head, and you think, he needs a visa. Hello, Mr. Niederwieser, you will say next time. So you are allowed to be as creative as that, okay? This is what I wanted to tell you.
Yeah,
be creative.
Implement. And what about those things? Like maybe someone has told me something to tell it to someone else, and then I forget it. Or maybe like I kept my bunch of keys somewhere and then I forget it.
I know. This is all a question of focus, Moidul, and this is why your question fits in so nicely. And there is this technique, doing what you're doing, you invest 3 seconds. I call it hypnosis. I hypnotize my keys, I put them somewhere on an unusual place maybe, and I hypnotize my keys for 3 seconds, not more. 3 seconds are enough for your brain to take in this picture where you see your keys lying on that unusual place, and that's it. You save these 3 seconds later on easily because you save it in the time for looking for them. You don't have to look for them so often, so long. Meaning, again, it's thinking in pictures and images. And if your friend tells you, please, can you tell this other friend tomorrow this or that? In the moment where you say, okay, I will remember. In this very moment where you say that, have this inner picture before your eyes. Maybe it was that he should bring along, I don't know, a special book. Then see your friend with this special book on his head. Again, a creative image. And I can guarantee you, you will not forget. The important thing is the power of words. Please use the phrase, I will remember. Yes, I will remember to tell him to bring along this book. Don't say to yourself, oh, I mustn't forget. Because the power of visualizing lies in the word forget, and you don't want to forget. As Marlies has pointed out, our brain doesn't know this little word no. So please use positive words. Remember, forget the word forget, okay? And you mentioned it in your question. So next time you ask, Louisa, how can I manage to remember more? That's positive. And you will be on the right track. Yes. And you will remember more. So that was a very long answer. I hope you, yeah.
Yes, I understood.
You understood.
The correct usage of words is very important.
Yes.
Okay, there's one more question of Samrat Patro in our chat. He is asking why we remember sad memories more than happy memories. This is what he finds. Do you have an answer, Louise?
Yes. When we are happy, we are not hurt, but when we are sad, it hurts deeply.
This is Akash explaining.
Okay. Thank you, Akash, for being my co-moderator. Thank you.
Actually, when we are sad, we want to forget the things. We just don't want to memorize that things that we are sad on that day. But we unfortunately remember throughout our life. So I want to know why it happens like this. Means something we have done, but then after 40 to 30 days, if we don't use, we forget the thing which we learned before 1 month. So I want to know why these things happen. Means when we are sad, why these things are we remember for throughout our life.
Yes, Samra, that is a question that goes very, very deep. And let me start by the power of emotions. Emotions create pictures, and of course, a picture that hurts really stays in your mind. And now it is definitely not helpful, and we had this in our presentation today, if you suppress this picture and if you say, I must not think of this event when I was so hurt, and then you have this picture in your head. So this is called paradox invention. You have to allow this picture to be there. It is something that happened, but maybe it was something where you still could learn something from. Maybe it was a lesson in your life where you took something positive out of it. It's it's in the times of crises that we learn most about ourselves. And everyone has these sad situations in his or her life. And the only way to let them go, I have found out, is to say yes to them. And is to say, yes, you have been part of my life, but now I allow you in love to go. And like in this red car, like can you in this exercise where you prepare an inner picture. I'm sure you had experiences in your life that really lift you up. Or do this exercise that Marlies has shared with you so preciously, this grateful. Take off your grateful exercise, something that, you know, really flows through your body and gives you warmth.
Actually, I want to ask you, can we use this technique for study? Means, can we use that technique for study means we don't want to remember the study, but we will remember throughout the life. Is this possible? Means something you don't want to learn, but you want to forget.
So if you hate something and you still have to study it, is that your question?
Yes. No. Actually, I want to say that we study and we forget after 1 month if we don't utilize it. But I am saying that sad things we don't want to memorize. We don't want to flashback all those memories, but we still get those memories back. Whatever means whatever our age is or whatever the year is, but we remember. So can we use this technique for study?
Okay. You see, if I understood you correctly, you mean retaining in your memory things that were sad that happens automatically. You don't need to do anything for it, and it stays in your memory. And you mean, can we use this technique for studying? Was that your question, Samrat?
Yeah, he wants to create a sad memory with his book.
Jagat, what did you say?
Study like sad memories. Will it be there for throughout our
life? I'm sorry. No, I don't think. I mean, I don't know this answer. This is very unusual combination, I must say. But from my common sense, I would say there is no transfer possible, really. What I gave you before my input is how you can deal with sad memories so that they slowly disappear or take the part that they deserve and not more. But there's no transfer into studying possible, I think, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, but let's not be taken away too far. I suggest the following now. I would like to give you now your homework because it's I'm the
quite
one who
a
always
few
says
already left the session, so maybe we can Louise,
yes,
continuously people are telling us they have to leave because they're messes, they have to go for dinner. So.
Sorry, yes, I was aiming at 2 hours now. Okay, so your homework, and we will write it in the group, has got to do with this knowledge ABC. I would like you to try out this tool because otherwise you don't know whether it's a tool for you or not. So what is your topic? Please go to our shared Google Drive and choose one of the precious sessions that we have already had. It can be any session, starting from Claudius Neumeier to P.A. Straubinger or Florian Zagler, whatever you want. Compound with Marlies, Sigrid Obermeier, to name but a few. And then this will take some time but you can split it up, it doesn't have to do it in a row. You watch it again and you write down your learnings in a knowledge ABC that goes really, really quickly. Your associations, because that's all you have to do. And then you upload this ABC in a folder that I will specially prepare for you. Please do not share the document in our WhatsApp group because I want you not to be influenced by the others. Yes, and then maybe in one of the following sessions, there will be time that you give a mini presentation of your homework in such a session, or maybe that you can use this as a basis for a presentation for newcomers to our group. I mean, this is just thinking out aloud. Your homework is make your first knowledge ABC by going back to one of our previous sessions so that we all have the same topic, okay? And different sessions, of course. And then upload that. That is my last input. It's nearly my last input because I really wish you good luck in trying out all these things to find your focus. And for your feedback, just one quick question. Claudia, is that
I'm just sorry, I will have to leave the session in 5 minutes. I just want to say, but you can stay to have a quick round with everybody.
Yeah, we will do that.
Very much, Louise and Marlies, and Louise especially, because it was a really, really helpful presentation, finding your focus. Thank you. And just, we can point out the next sessions maybe? before I'm leaving?
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, and then we have this feedback quickly after. I'm sorry, you see, have really overlooked the time. So the next 2 dates that you should bear in mind are the 10th of May and the 31st of May, where you will have the second session with Florian Zagler. You know
and for
him.
the 10th of May, I'm still looking for a guest speaker. We will tell you what will be going on the 10th of May. Okay.
Yes. Okay, Claudia, thank you. And you will get the result. The result here, what I'm taking away from today's session, folks, this is one last sentence or 2 sentences if you want for this session now, because that would save you the questionnaire afterwards. If you write it down now straight away, the code is still valid. All you have to do is go to menti.com, writing down your feedback, and then that's all for today. So, is there time enough? We are 18 participants, so 12 participants. Those who have left, maybe I will send the questionnaire, or we will find a way.
What, they should write it in the chat or in this
No, they should write it, hang on, in this other tool. Sorry, it should, sorry, just a minute, sorry. I have what I'm taking away from today's session. I have to click the present button here. Okay, now you should be there. There should be now a field for you where you can type in your question, your answer. Okay. Is that possible for you to do it now, or do you want to do it in a written form, in the feedback form as we usually have?
But it would be easier to put it into the chat, no? Wouldn't this be easier? No? As you like.
Yes. I mean, it would be a nicer survey in the Mentimeter, because we can then download it as one PDF. That's if it's okay for you. I was a bit long, so maybe I'll check. I'll check if people are already doing it. No, they are not. So let's do it like that. We will stop the session now, say goodbye together with Claudia. And yes, I think this is even a good thing, because now you can show your cooperation in answering this questionnaire ASAP, within 24 hours. And you only have to answer this one question, and it won't take a minute. So I would say this is all from me for now. You will also get the chance to ask questions in this questionnaire, of course, because we don't have the time now. Marlies, I give the floor back to you, or Claudia, back to you, and I say goodbye to all of you and give back to Marlies and or Claudia.
Maybe we can put also in the questionnaire, as this session of the 10th of May is still open, if there are any suggestions, what our coaches would be interested in, what is missing, is it like time management, or still going on job interviews, or some this could be also a question for the questionnaire. Louise?
Okay, yes. Or English coaching,
English
just
coaching, yes.
improving English, fluency in speaking or writing, whatever is more important for you.
Yes.
Maybe Sabine, I think would be. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so we are glad that so many were interested and joined today. And thank you to Marlies and Louise. And we continue, getting wiser and yes, getting wiser by having our coaching sessions. Marlies, you want to add something? Is there anything to say about the letters, the letter writing?
The letter writing, yes. Letters are just arriving from Austria to India. I think Chika starts today printing them out or sending them to you via email. So it's necessary again and helpful when you write your letters to your sponsors. You can send them to Chika. I think that's the best way to send it to her, because she's collecting everything. And yes, we need your letters, you know.
Malas, can you give me the last date? Means
yes, Jagat, you want to say something?
Can you give me the last date, man? Which date we have to submit the letter? Because my exam is
The
starting
last
from
date
tomorrow.
Until 19.4. Until end of April. Last April, 30th April.
Is this possible, Jagat, for you?
My exam is starting from tomorrow and it will end in
Oh my God.
May 6th.
And then taking how many days your exam?
May 6th it will end, last exam. 6th May.
6th of
6th
May.
May. Okay.
So you can extend the deadline.
Everybody who can send the letters until end of April is very welcome to send them soon after having read your sponsor's letter, of course. And the rest until 10th of May. Is this possible as the very latest date? 10th of May?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it is possible.
Okay, great.
Fine.
And
Good.
Wally will send them to your sponsors because I'm in Namibia from 15th May on, so Wally will take over.
The next generation is taking over. The son of Malis is doing then the letter exchange and
the big one. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your contributions. Wonderful contributions. Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, so dann.
Hoffen wir jetzt alle, gell?
Ja, gut, dann verabschieden
Einen
wir uns.
schönen
Okay.
Abend.
Okay, bye bye everybody. Bye bye.